Antonio Sinopoli was born in 1878. He was a longtime teacher and sheet music transcriber, wrote songs as well. A lot of videos on YouTube of his pieces. I have 32 pages in my book, Annotations for the History of the Classical Guitar in Argentina, 1822 to 2000. This volume 1. 4 volumes, 21 pounds, $300, shipped worldwide. So I'm going to read from page 229. In the February 1929 issue number 3 of O Violao magazine, published in Sao Paulo, Brazil, the guitarist Oswaldo Soares writes about a visit by Antonio Sinopoli, Portuguese translation by Randy Osborne. Oswaldo Soares was the guy in Sao Paulo. If you wanted to get a Francisco Simplicio guitar, you got it from him. He was the representative in that city for those guitars from Barcelona. O Violao, the guitar in Sao Paulo. From our beloved representative in Sao Paulo, the competent Professor Oswaldo Soares, we have the interesting article that we publish in the lines below. By that we have an auspicious notice that we find in Sao Paulo for the holidays the famous professor and composer Antonio Sinopoli, whom the guitar owes in a great part by the great development achieved in Argentina. Behold the article by Professor Oswaldo Soares, Professor Antonio Sinopoli. He is in Sao Paulo for the holidays, the eminent Professor Antonio Sinopoli, composer of distinguished among the modern musicians who enriched the literature of the guitar. He is residing during his stay here in the home of his brother-in-law, the kind and amiable gentleman, Mr. Angel Carrera. Sinopoli was already a friend. By our relationship it were only of correspondence and data, and when he launched his Aguado Sinopoli method with great success, that was unquestionably a service of great utility to the lovers as well for the professors of the guitar. He unites in one volume that which is necessary for various authors that exists, for the teaching of the guitar, respecting to serve the great work of Dionisio Aguado with admirable artistic sense. Maestro Antonio Sinopoli, the professor, more in evidence in Buenos Aires by his elevated culture and profound knowledge of the art of teaching. He possesses a large repertoire wherein the most select and the most difficult concert works are placed. Here's a photo, not super clear, but pretty nice, of Antonio Sinopoli. That's probably from the visit made to Sao Paulo. I should also say that my friend Ivan Paschoito was the one who was responsible for getting me in touch with the O Violao and magazines. They were from the collection of the great record collector Ronoel Simoes, who passed away about 10 years ago. I'm going to continue to read this article, interview. Sinopoli, a very cultured and professor of real worthiness, since he knows, and rightly so, the guitar and all of its musical and historical literature, and justly by that. And as all the modern guitarists, a great admirer of the mourned maestro who advanced our instrument, Taraga. I should also mention that Domingo Pratt, who arrived on the 1st of January of 1908, met Antonio Sinopoli about 3 weeks later. I have a section of a piece of sheet music that is autographed and dated to Antonio Sinopoli from Domingo Pratt. In Buenos Aires, he is a professor who has proven by his talent to be a beloved creature. The Argentine magazines Caras y Caretas and Plus Ultra give us proof of his deserved feature, publishing beautiful photographic pages of his frequent concerts, in which a great number of his most advanced disciples take part, and that in the latest of these recitals, December, Mr. Sinopoli included in the program a Brazilian song, Cabocla Apaixonada by Marcelo Tupinamba. I had promised him. These concerts, promoted and organized by Mr. Sinopoli, have taken the character of a true consecration to the guitar, and by this he counts on in Buenos Aires with the decided and frank support of the literary men of letters and journalists who augment the diffusion and education and give preference to the guitar. Therefore, Sinopoli is a personality who will mark an epic and living guitar. And as naturally, the evolution of the guitar has been advantageously driven by the surprising results obtained with the modern school of Targa. Sinopoli, intelligent as is, have followed that evolution as a modern musician, not only composing pages of like literature to reach everyone, as also smoothing the chore for the beginners and students, creating a recreational and interesting mode utile for the gymnastic work for the guitar. So much I take that opportunity for mentioning his works Escalas e Ejercicios and Técnica en todos los tonos. That translates to scales and exercises and technique in all the different keys. The difficult exercises are, however, attenuated by the rhythmic flavor of the well-chained phrases. The results of these teachings give us a complete and satisfactory demonstration by his most gentle and gracious daughter, Miss Nelida. To see and hear the guitar is a satisfaction. The naturalness, ease, and independence with that portal, even on stretches of a difficult execution, the predicates that are soon to awaken the attention of those who hear. And I do not know why. The guitar, when played by lily hands, delicate and agile young woman, and an instrument of incomparable suggestive power, and Nelida leverages her technique with those gifts of exquisite guitar. Miss Nelida Sinopoli, the brilliant Argentine guitarist of exquisite technique, and who in various concerts has performed with rare brilliance, among others, pieces Bourrée by Bach, Minuetto by Schubert, Tremolo by Gottschalk, and Sevillanas by Albéniz. Here's a picture of her. I should mention that in the late 40s, Antonio Sinopoli and his daughter recorded for RCA. That photo of the label and inclusion of the record catalog denoting that fact is a part of the 32 pages I have on Sinopoli. To continue, and what are the gifts of the guitar? I don't know. The guitar has some inexplicable enchantment, the likes of he who plays, the likes of those who hear. Everyone presents the reason to be of his or her preference, and for one to its sweet and pleasant voice, for others the romantic life that is. It has lived across 2 centuries in our regal salons, halls, or in the peasant's hut. For others it is the companion of a moonlit night in which they sang ballads to someone. Is it that the guitar has its strength and its incontestable ascendancy, and especially when its strings are caressed by the most feminine delicacy? The nights of unequivocal art are those of guitaristic reunion, in which our instrument appears so dignified in the hands of maestros. Of his visit to Sao Paulo, I have enjoyed very much. Mr. Sinopoli combines the qualities of a professor and delicate performer, a very communicative charm, jovial and modest. His talk is invariably always about a subject that interests us, music, guitarists, and the guitar. Sao Paulo, February 3rd, 1929, Oswaldo Soares.